Oh, hello. What's going on? Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast, everyone. Today is Saturday, April 6th, 2024. Of course, I'm DSP, and there is absolutely nothing special going on today whatsoever. Just a normal day. Everything is just the usual around here, and nothing out of the ordinary is taking place. What's going on, everybody? So, today is my birthday marathon, and I hope that you guys are excited to hang out with me all day long. If you are so inclined, or if you're maybe just stopping by to hang out for a little bit, that's also cool. No matter what it may be that you're up to, I'm glad to have you here and glad to see you. If you're watching this on demand, welcome to the show. We're still doing a normal podcast today. What I'm going to do is outline a few different things we're going to be doing today. I actually have some interesting updates for you regarding content on the DSP Throwback channel, regarding my schedule for this week, which just changed again. Yes, again. So I have to tell you guys all about that because you need to know what I'm doing this week. And the schedule has shifted again. Plus other stuff. We'll talk a little bit about how yesterday went. Basically being that yesterday was the first day of me doing different kinds of variety for you, right? Originally, we had planned to be doing RPG stuff. And now that all that RPG stuff is essentially on hold, you guys had told me you wanted more variety in the content. I'm giving it to you. And so far, the feedback seems to be pretty positive. So I'm going to talk about that today. Okay? Also, I want to give you updates on a lot of different things. Like there's food coming today. I want to tell you what we're getting and when it's coming and stuff like that. Talk about what we're going to be doing today because there's all these different options of what we can do for this marathon event. Like we could do various different things. There's only one thing absolutely that I've locked in, and that's doing the schedule. We really haven't looked at the gaming landscape in over 4 months. I take that back. I want to say it's been like 3.5 months because I want to say it was Christmas marathon. The last time that we looked at the gaming schedule and said, here's the games coming out and here's what I want to play. And I'm way behind on that. I need to look at that and figure out what games are the ones that were most interested in me seeing me play, and getting that hashed out so that way we can then say, okay, this month is busy, this month isn't. We can plug in the gaps or whatever, and figure out the schedule. So that's a necessary thing we have to do today. In addition, there'll be some food, which we'll talk about in a bit. But everything else is on the table, like gaming of any sort. Street Fighter 6, which I just started playing again last night, or Helldivers 2, which I just started playing on Wednesday. Either of those would be fine picks for stuff for me to play today if you wanted to see that. Nostalgia-wise, I have made a playlist of the top viewed videos of all time that I've put out on YouTube in my 16-year run, including gameplay, vlogging, old school videos, with the camera, newer school reviews, all kinds of stuff. And that would obviously be awesome, right? So it's really up to you guys what you want to do. We'll talk about it as we go through the day. Perhaps we'll have a series of polls and stuff like that to figure out what exactly we want to do. Now, also, I did get this quiz from Derek, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. He sent it to me yesterday, and I've just been so busy that I didn't even click on it. We could take a look at that, too, at some point. Maybe bring it up in a browser and see what it is and see if it's anything fun that we want to do or not. If it's good, maybe I could share it as a link in the chat, and then everyone could go check it out. We all do it live together or something. I'm not sure how it works. I don't. I've never done it before. So, a lot to do today. A lot of fun stuff. But here's the thing. Today is a chill vibe. And what I mean by that is we are not in any stress to do any particular thing today. We don't have to rush. We don't have to go crazy to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just relaxing day. That's what I'm focused on today. Just kind of relaxing and having a good time together. And just having a good birthday. A chill day, right? Now, I'll be here all day long. By the way, one thing that I forgot to do that I want to do right now. Today is about hanging out and having fun and just, chilling. It's not about a fundraiser. It's not about anything like that. So if you guys contribute today, thank you. basically this one marathon stream that I'm doing starting now, and this will roughly run till between 7, 8 p.m. Pacific time. So, you know, I'll be here for the next 10 plus hours. All right. Basically, there's not going to be separate sessions of streaming. It's one long stream all day long. So that's basically my work day today. I'm not doing any other streams. So if you contribute during this stream, thank you so much. Any contributions obviously are greatly appreciated. Just like any other stream, I'm going to give you a shout out if you contribute. I'll put you up on the leaderboard. But today is not about hitting goals. Today is not about fundraising a certain amount or anything like that. You know, someone said that to me yesterday. They were like, aren't you going to do like a fundraiser for your birthday? I was like, no. We're just going to hang out. We're just going to hang out and have fun and just relax and have a good day together. It's not about hitting this target of funds or anything like that. I don't really think that's in the spirit of celebration of a birthday, if that's what it's all about, right? And the good thing is I'm not in that position anymore. You know, years and years ago, yeah, I was a bad off. Now I'm not anymore. So I don't have to worry about, oh my God, things are going to fall apart if I don't make a certain amount on my birthday, right? Like, what a crazy thing. And I've been in that position before. Thankfully, I'm not, all right? But today, if you want to support the channel in any way, please. Today, I suspect we will have a great amount of attendees all day long. There'll be people stopping by, you know, from all my different content that they like. Just saying hello. Some people will probably stick around, some won't. But today would be an absolutely great day if you were thinking of supporting the channel in some way. For example, gifting some memberships or something like that. There's probably be a ton of people here today to accept them. So, good timing on that. In fact, how about this? To get the day started, I'm going to gift 5 memberships myself to the community immediately. So let's do it. Boom. Congratulations to the following people. David Rivera, Plumber Who Fixes Leaks, Ultrasonic Assquake, Brian Larson, and Juan's888. Congratulations to you 5. Enjoy your gifted memberships to DSPGaming. Hope you get some good use out of those perks. Okay? Awesome. Happy birthday to you. It's my birthday, but happy birthday to you. Okay? Cool. So anyway, first of all, thanks to those who are giving me happy birthday wishes. Today's my 42nd birthday. Another year older. Another year with longer ear hair. Another year of a more painful back. Another year of my balls dangling even lower to my knees. But at the same time, a year wiser, right? And one thing I'm so happy to say today, folks. All right, you ready for this? Today's my birthday, and guess what? I'm currently involved in absolutely no drama whatsoever. Zero. There is no drama going on at all regarding me. Now, that's a far cry from last year, right? Last year at this time, I was up to my eyeballs in nonsensical drama with a bunch of idiots, and I'm so happy to not having that right now, you know? Like, to just be enjoying life, enjoying my streams, enjoying games, enjoying your company every single day, and not having to be involved in bullshit. I'm happy for that. So thank you for keeping the drama out of here. We are in a much better position this year than we were last year, that's for sure. I mean, I woke up today, I'm like, wow, there's no stress today. I could just have a good day with my audience, relax. This is very nice. Also, the weather today is very accommodating. Even though, you notice I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, and this is a new one, by the way. I'm basically today, it's cool. It's all cloudy outside, so it means it will not be super hot or anything outside. It's going to be nice and relaxing today here all day long with you guys. So it's a good weather for this, you know, to be in the office all day long. I will be taking periodic breaks, mostly just to get up and stretch, but every once in a while, I'm sure with a marathon stream, I'm going to have to use the bathroom. And when the food comes, which we'll talk about in a moment, obviously I got to take a break to go get the food and get set up for the Feasting with Phil episode that we're going to do and stuff like that. Okay? So there will be breaks. But I'm very happy to be relaxing. That's why I wore the shirt today, because I was like, if I'm going to be in here all day long, even though it's cooler, I think I just want to wear a nice aerated shirt. And this shirt is a stretchy, aerated material. So it's going to be nice and comfy. As for beverages, I have 2 beverages to drink today. I have the Long Island iced tea mix that I had back during the Super Bowl event, but I have a new mojito mix that I'm going to be trying today. I took a very tiny taste of it last night. I just went, taste it, and it was like, wow, it was very minty. I was like, that's a ton of mint that they put into that mojito mix. Now, normally mojito mix has some mint, but I think this one they might have overdone it. But we'll see. I'm going to try it, and I'll be having some of that booze over the course of today. But as I already said, there's no goals involved here of fundraising. It's not like, oh, if I contribute a certain amount, will you take a shot? No, we're not doing that. You know, we've had done that in previous marathons, and you guys liked that for a little bit. But it's kind of silly, and quite frankly, I really don't want to get drunk today. I like to get buzzed. If we're going to play some games, if we're going to do Helldivers or some Street Fighter, I'm always happy to be buzzed and playing around and being silly. But I definitely don't want to be, like, totally tipsy, especially when I'm in the middle of a marathon and I got to keep going. I don't want to be all fucking falling asleep and shit, you know? That has happened. During some marathons in previous years, I got way too tipsy drinking, and I barely could carry on. So I definitely don't want to do that, okay? So over the course of today, it should be fun. What I want to do is right after the podcast, we'll do the schedule segment. We'll do the gaming schedule update. We'll get that done. So that's out of the way. And then it's just up to you guys. We'll maybe do polls. Like, do you want to do the nostalgia react where we watch the videos that are my most viewed? Do you want to do some Street Fighter 6? Do you want to do some Helldivers 2? We'll do some live polls during the stream. And you guys will vote on that stuff, and we'll figure it out. Okay, I think that'll be pretty fun. And then later, food. Okay, food. I have the announcement because people kept asking me what we're going to do. My wife and I decided we're going to do Korean barbecue. Why? Because I've never had Korean food on a stream ever. I've never done that before on Feasting with Phil or Feasting with the King or anything. No DSP tries. I've never had Korean food. So I figured, excuse me, that this would be cool and something different to do. We've had Korean food twice so far. And each time that we've ordered it, we loved it. We've got that coming for dinner, and dinner is coming between 4:30 p.m.-ish Pacific time. I know you're like, wait, that's early. Well, that is our dinner time. Remember, I usually stream till around 4 p.m., and then at 4 p.m. I upload, and then we usually eat between 4:35 p.m. That's our dinner. And then remember, after my late stream, I usually have like a snack at night. That's almost like lunch, only it's at night. So our schedule's a little different because of my streaming schedule. So we'll be eating around then. So for anyone who wanted to partake with us, because someone was like, oh, I want to order food with you. If you have Korean barbecue near you, that's what we're going to have for dinner today, a little later today. And then at the end of today, the last thing we're going to do as we're closing out at the end of the night, I'm going to have my birthday cake, which this year is a little different. We're not doing cake. This year we're doing brownies. My wife is going to make homemade brownies from scratch with a peanut butter frosting and some nuts and other things on it. So it should be pretty good. I love brownies personally. So she's never made like homemade brownies from scratch like this before. So we don't know how it's going to come out, but we'll see what happens. All right. Last year she made carrot cake and it was absolutely delicious. And then we got sick after we ate it because the recipe she used from online, she looked the recipe up. They told her to put in way too much oil. So it tastes amazing. And then you're like, oh, it kills your guts after you eat it. You're like, oh my God. So hopefully the brownies come out better. I think they will. I mean, brownies, you can't really go wrong. And we're not putting crazy amounts of shit in it this time. It's going to be like normal stuff. So, all right. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So, we're going to do this podcast, then the gaming schedule update. Then we'll probably do polling on what you want to see next. Food between 4:30 p.m. roughly coming. And then after that, more, either gaming or nostalgia or whatever you want. And then at the end of the day, brownies. All right. And by the way, as I said, this is a very chill atmosphere today. And what I mean by that is we are in no rush to do anything. This podcast can go long if we want, or it can be short and we get to other stuff. All right. I'm not concerned about time. I think we have more than enough time to do everything we want to do by the end of the marathon. It's not like one of these times we have 5 games we must play today. It's not like that. If we just want to chill and hang out for a bit, talk, we can do that, do some Q&A. You know, I am open to just a nice, relaxing day. I really am. And I'm happy that this is what my birthday is this year. Good stuff. Okay? So, by the way, thank you. People are contributing like crazy right now. And I appreciate that. We got super chats, we got tips, we got gifted memberships hitting the stream. Thank you so very much for that. I really appreciate that. I will shout all that out in a little bit. The good news is I don't have a lot to blab about today. There's like not a lot of stuff to really discuss. What I want to do is talk a little bit about my schedule for this week changing and also some big positive updates over on DSP Throwback. But once I cover those two topics, I'm pretty much good to go, and we can do shout-outs for all these contributions that are coming in, and I'm sure we'll get to discussion about different things you guys want to talk about, okay? Congrats, Rico just gifted 10 memberships to the community. So congrats to Matthew, Greasy, Doe, Robert, Macho, Ichiban Kasuga, Dr. Cushman, Batgirl, Sean Gardner, Rebecca, and 4 Retrosake. Everyone just got a gifted membership there. Congrats to all of you. Be sure to thank Rico for the gifts. And that is awesome. Thank you so much, Rico, for supporting the community. I'll have some more memberships to gift out. I'll give them out later today. Maybe around the halfway point of the marathon, I'll toss them out there. Okay? Cool. All right. So what are the topics I want to talk about? First thing I want to do is just briefly recap yesterday, to let you know how things are going with the new schedule. So now, I mean, the schedule is completely flipped on its head. We finished the long-running RPGs, okay? We're playing new stuff, and I've returned to Elden Ring. So with all this stuff going on, it's been great this last few days of streaming. Yesterday, it was Elden Ring on the first stream, and the return of Street Fighter 6 and Friday Night Fights to the late stream. So here's how it went. Elden Ring was going good. We had a good attendance, and I had cleared the entire magic plateau, meaning I killed all the magic dragons, I got all the turtles, I got the secret moon spell. This is Ronnie's Dark Moon spell, which is a better version of the Renala Full Moon spell. Also, I did the optional jail fight against the head assassin, you know, who killed Godwin or whatever it was. And that was a tough fight for my build because I'm a mage build, and I'm basically really, really squishy. I take a lot of damage, okay? So, we did all that, and then people were on the fence about what to do next. So what I did is I exited the Imperial City. There was an optional boss fight against 2 Omen monsters. We killed them. And then people were like, well, there's not a lot. Here's the thing. Here's what happened. I got interrupted. I knew I was going to be interrupted because a couple times a year, it's required that where I live, we have an alarm test because I live in a private community and the homes are triplexes, which means it's basically 3 homes connected to 1 building, okay? Because the 3 homes are connected, by law, it's required that you have an alarm that connects all 3 buildings. So let's say a fire started next door. I'd know because my alarm would go off, and I'd know, get the hell out of the house to call the fire department, okay? So we needed to test this alarm, which is fine. Obviously, that's a good thing. You know, I want it. That's very good for my family. But they said they were coming at 2:30. So I said, all right, I'll have everything set up. So at 2:30, we'll basically take a break. I'll pause the recording. And I'll tell everyone on stream, guys, I got to go for like 10, 15 minutes for this test because the test is very fast. And I'll be right back. So 2:25 comes. I say, okay, guys, I'll be back. Go downstairs. I open the garage. I'm looking all around. They're not here. Okay. So I start doing stuff around the house. I'm taking out the trash. I'm cleaning the house. I'm doing chores. 4:45. They're not here. Okay. So I'm walking all around, looking around. It's almost 3 o'clock. They're still not here. I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. Over half an hour now. I got to wait. They finally showed up. And when they showed up, they were fast. But it's like, it just sucks because, you know, this shit always has to happen in the middle of my stream. And, you know, I got to be here for it. I'm the owner of the house. I'm responsible for having all this testing go through and everything. By the way, it's very loud. Like, when it goes off, it's a huge piercing shriek that kills your ears. So there was no way I was going to be able to stream when it was going on anyway. It's just, like, very, very annoying. So finally, they finished, and I came back to stream, and essentially I had lost an hour of gameplay, all right? It is what it is. So I continued, and we didn't have much time, and I got asked by the chat, well, did you fight Moog? And I'm like, well, Moog is in the Blood Palace. They're like, no, the first Moog, the one that's hidden under the Imperial City, who's kind of a fake version, a watered-down version of the real Moog, and leads to the whole Frenzy, like, ending quest line. I was like, oh, you know what? I don't think we did. I'm not sure. And we looked it up, and no, I hadn't. So we're like, okay, how am I going to do it? And people were trying to help me. And it took over half an hour to get to the guy because it's such a pain in the ass maze, right? You got to run through all those stupid pipes. And you got to drop down into a pipe. That whole underground area is so annoying. It's some of the most annoying enemies in the game. And the stupid part about it is, if I remember, there's just not a lot of good stuff down there besides the Moog boss, which is cool. There's no good items or anything really down there. So you're down there wasting half an hour to an hour going through this crazy dungeon for really nothing. It's like, what the shit? So we got through it. We turboed through it. And I got to Moog. And basically I tried to fight him. I was like, maybe I could just beat him right away. So I used my strategy. I used the rune on the ground that charges magic. I popped the physic flask, so I got infinite MP. I charge it. I do the Comet Azul, or Comet Azure spell, he gets hit once and just walks right through it as if I never did it. I'm like, it's weird because people had told me originally that that spell stun locks most enemies in the game, and basically I'd be able to like turbo through the end game with this spell. Now, it worked on Lich Dragon. Remember? It worked on the Lich Dragon. I kicked his ass. He just couldn't get out of the way, and it melted him. But now, basically, this spell seems pretty worthless. It doesn't even work against, like, big enemies like the Omen monsters. They just tank it out and move, too. And I'm like, well, what's the point of this spell? I'm wondering if they nerfed it at some point, because it's weird that people said that it was so good and overpowered, but it just seems to not work. Every enemy now, like, gets hit once by it, and instead of getting stun locked by it, they just go whoop and walk right out. Like, well, then what? It's stupid, right? What's the point of that? So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if this spell will be as useful as I thought. Some people are actually saying that in the end game stuff, the Mist spell, remember we had that, was it Night Mist? That actually ends up being much better in the end game, and we were using that last year, and I stopped using it for a while, but maybe we'll bring it back. And there was another one too, the sword spell, the one that makes the magic sword that you can swipe around with. People were saying that that's really good now too near the end. Once you get your intelligence way up, I have hair on my face. Once you get your intelligence way up, that's much better. So, in fact, one person had said that boss, the jail boss that I had a problem with, because I had like no health, they said if you just keep using that magic spell, they stun lock and you can hit them like 10 times in a row and then they die. So it's funny because I'm thinking, oh yeah, look at this piece of hair. I'm thinking there are all these things that I was using last year in the magic run that I kind of like shelved, but I could bring them back now to try them again to see if they're good again now that we're getting to the harder part of the game. So anyway, it went pretty well, even though only playing 2 hours. It was fun. I'm looking forward to playing it again later in the week, which we'll talk about in a second. Because basically, FYI, the schedule's changing. I'm going to have a longer streaming week again. It figures, right? As soon as I announce it and everyone's, oh, okay, you're going to have a shorter streaming week. That's cool. Well, now it's longer again. I'm sure you guys are happy about that, though. You'd rather have more of me than less of me, right? Okay. Anyway, so that being said, that was a good thing. Now, last night we went back to Street Fighter 6 for Friday Night Fights. The first time I had played Street Fighter 6 in 2.5 months. I actually looked it up, and the last time was like January 20-something. So it has been like 2.5 months since I touched the game. As always with Street Fighter 6, it's a mixed bag. And I absolutely love every time I play this game, and I'm literally speaking facts about the game, that the fanboy force comes out to defend it because they're so fucking ignorant that they just believe everything they're told by the FGC instead of using their fucking brains. So I'm playing the game, and once again, inputs dropping immediately. First match out of the gates claims to be a 19 millisecond match, and I'm like, no input. Did you see me? Press the button. You could see it, hear the click. Drops the input entirely. No input comes out. What the fuck? There was one guy I was playing. Literally it says fight, and it's Ken, and he rushes across the screen, does low medium kick. It wouldn't even block. I did nothing. I was anticipating a drive rush from Ken on fight. I was already down backing on the joystick to block, and it hit me. And I'm like, this fucking game, I'm sorry, it's not good online. The netcode sacrifices the accuracy of the gameplay to make it look good. Meaning the matches look good to the audience because you don't see lag or skipping or rollback, but it drops your inputs frequently. So someone who's just a fucking rushdown masher always will be benefited, while someone who plays more defensively or more, intelligently actually always will get a worse experience online. It's absolutely trash. And it pisses me off because the game is very sound competitively. I get the feeling this is probably one of the best Street Fighters ever offline. Meaning, at a high level, this game being played is probably super fun at a high level. But man, playing it online, it's like someone's just punching you in the ball sack over and over because your inputs don't come out half the time, and it really drives me nuts. And it's just hilarious because I call it for what it is. I'm honest about it. I tell you guys when it's happening live. I'll say, I did the move, it didn't come out. And everyone, well, the FGC doesn't say this. No one in the FGC says this. Why the fuck would they say it? They need this game to be super praised. They need this game to, everyone thinks it's the best fighting game ever. Why? Because it's the only fighting game Capcom has out. And it's the only fighting game they have if they're Street Fighter players. Why do you think they're going to criticize it? They did the same thing with Street Fighter V. When Street Fighter V came out, they praised it. They talked so highly about it, and they said it was good. Now that Street Fighter 6 is out, they all say Street Fighter V was dog shit. Right? Now, 7 years later, they've all changed their tune. Do you think the game changed magically? It's the same fucking game. It's that they're not honest about it because they need hype. They need people to come to their streams, to come to their tournaments, to watch their shit, to enter their events, to buy the game, to buy the accessories, to buy the peripherals, to use the referral codes so they can make money. They can't say the game isn't good online because then they can't get the bag. How you don't understand this yet really drives me nuts. Why do you think that the one guy who doesn't benefit is honest, right? I don't benefit in any way from saying things about fighting games. If I say a fighting game is perfect or I say a fighting game sucks, it doesn't affect me, right? So why do you think the one guy who has no direct benefit would say something different from the FGC, right? Here's the truth. If you actually go on social media, you're going to find tons of people saying things like, why does Street Fighter 6 eat inputs? Because it does. The netcode eats inputs constantly to make the game look good online, okay? But you don't find the people who represent the FGC to the public saying that. Why? Because they can't. They can't be honest. They're not allowed to. If they are, that's it. Okay? So that's why you get the honesty from me. Listen, I love Street Fighter 6. Like I said, I think competitively it's a really good game. It's sound. Sure, it's unbalanced. Sure, the top tiers are overpowered. They'll probably rebalance this game a few times during its life cycle. Maybe like once a year they'll do a new season update and they're going to balance it again and again and try to fix things. I expect that, and I appreciate Capcom doing that. But man, the netcode is duty when it comes to this dropped input stuff. It just makes it not fun. So last night I returned to Street Fighter 6 for the first time in 2.5 months. First match out of the gates, input drops constantly, and I'm like, I didn't have this problem with Tekken because this is the other thing. People are like, oh, it's your joystick or whatever. I played Tekken for a month. Did you hear me constantly complaining about dropped inputs? No, because Tekken didn't drop inputs. Now, Tekken's connections were slightly laggier, meaning on average, a Tekken connection is like 30, 40 milliseconds at the best, all the way up to like maybe 80 milliseconds at the worst. So it's a little bit laggier, but it doesn't drop your inputs. I would much rather play a game that has a little bit of lag, but always gives me my moves, than a game that looks like it has no lag, but drops my inputs half the time to get there. That's just stupidity, and that's what Street Fighter 6 has done. Look good for the audience, so it looks hype for people in the public, but it actually plays like dog shit online. Now, perhaps this isn't an issue on PC, which would account for why the 99% of the people who play this game long-term and are pro players are playing it on PC. I don't know. I don't have it on PC. I have it on PS5, and this is my problem with the game. So maybe that's why all the pro players jump to PC. You tell me. You would know better than me. But I'm just telling it like it is, okay? So anyway, last night, for 2.5 hours, we played Street Fighter 6. The first hour and a half was Blanca. For an hour, I won almost every set. In fact, I did win every set. Sometimes I would lose the first match, but then I would adapt and come back. And some of these were very close matches. There was only one person I lost to, and it was because basically his connection was shit. And then he decided to teabag, too, because he's a piece of dog shit with an asshole person. But then I finally fought an Ed, and the Ed was a master Ed who was really good with Ed. So it was cool. I lost a ton. I think it was like 10-3. Like I won 3 matches. He won like 10. It was like a 1-10 set we did. And it took about half an hour. But man, it was the first time I had ever seen Ed in action. And I was trying to learn certain things, about what was going on. And I was like, okay, I'm absorbing knowledge. So Ed seems interesting. From long range, all he can really do is throw a projectile, it looks like. From short range, he's really good because he's fast as hell. And he has this standing, like, punch. And I don't know if it's a jab or a medium, but it seems to also hit low. So he could just stand there and throw out this, like, strike combo. It was like that into a special move. And he could just do it again. And then he could drive rush it. It's faster. And then he has this move that if he meter burns it, it's an uppercut. And it becomes completely invincible. And it blows through, like, everything. So he can bait you into thinking, oh, it's time for your move, time for your attack, and then he can just counter you with this invincible uppercut. Now, he also has this web thing, and I have no idea how it works. It looks like he grabs you. Even if you're blocking, he can pull you towards him. But I don't really understand his properties. I don't know if you're open when he does that. It was very weird. I was trying to figure it out. You know, I'd have to study this character a lot more to really get him. But he seems very, very different from the other characters, and that's a good thing. He's not just another pure rushdown character. He's not another DJ, Jury, Ken. You know, he's not that archetype of just stay in your face rushing down the whole match, and that's a good thing. It seems like he has mix-ups and tricks as opposed to just rush, rush, rush. At the same time, I don't know if he's good or not, because it was the first time I ever fought him, and this guy was a master Ed who knew what he was doing, and he was whooping my butt, and I was like, oh, it's good. Here's the thing. I don't mind losing in a fighting game if I'm absorbing knowledge and learning, and I absolutely was. I was actually sad at he beat me 10-3 or whatever, and he quit, and I was like, oh, I would have fucking played that for another hour. I really would have, because I'm absorbing knowledge, and that's one of the more satisfying things you could do when you're playing a fighting game. Then for the second half of the stream, I switched to Lily, and the trolls came out in force and tried to mess with me. There's this one troll who apparently has awful connection, and basically he keeps changing his name, so it looks like it's a different person, but it's the same person over and over. So after I figured it out, I banned him. I just blocked them, so I don't have to fight him ever again. There were two of those idiots who were doing that shit. So I blocked both of them, and after I got past those two idiots, then we started playing for real with Lily, and I hate to say it, I like Lily, but man, she sucks. Now that the game is almost a year old, it's like, she is one of the worst. She's such a hard time trying to hang with anyone else in this game. Unfortunately, she just doesn't have speed. She doesn't have enough options. And when she is on the ropes, she really has no way to get out of a corner. And because of that, she can't hang right now. I think what they need to do is give her a perfect reversal. Like if they gave her a perfect wake up, like if her rising falcon move or whatever the hell it's called was like a Shoryuken and had invincibility frames that blew through everything, she'd just be much better right off the bat to be able to get out of these situations. And I do feel like maybe if they improved some things, like I don't know, maybe her throw, improve it a little bit, because the problem is most people could just easily neutral jump over and over in the match against her, and she has no options to stop it. Like she can't stop the neutral jump. So you could have people do hit string, neutral jump away from any option she has. Oh, safe hit string again, neutral jump away. She can't do anything. She's just stuck. And it's frustrating because I like that character build, but I don't think in the meta of the game she really fits anywhere. So it is what it is. I lost a ton, but I won some matches too, so it was fun overall. Overall, I would say I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed going back to Street Fighter 6. If you guys choose for me to play more today, I'll probably use Zangief and Dalsim and Honda. You know, I won't use the characters I used last night. Definitely I would like to play more if you want, but only if you want. We don't have to today. I mean, that is a lot of Street Fighter overload after just doing it last night. But the thing is, I don't know if I'll have a chance to play it again this week. Maybe one night, we'll see. But yeah, I had a good time. And overall, attendance was great. Support was good. You know, everything is staying great. Since I went to this variety schedule and dropped the RPGs, everything's going good. People really seem to be enjoying it. So that's a good thing, right? So now let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week. Today is the birthday marathon. Duh. I don't think I need to talk any further about that. Tomorrow is React Day. So we're going to have the weekly clip show, DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts. And then we're going to have on DSP Throwback, a Retro React night stream, and it's a premiere of The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm going to attempt to get through all of that episode in one stream. Now, it's 12 parts, 2 hours of footage, but I tend to pause and stuff, so hopefully we'll be able to get through it. This is a very big classic playthrough that I ever did. People absolutely love my Walking Dead series that I've done over the years, so I'm happy to bring it back. In fact, when we were doing the Heavy Rain Retro React, this was like the #1 request is, when are you doing Walking Dead? And I was like, well, let's not do it right away because we're doing a narrative-based game. But then we tried Bully, and Bully didn't really work. Bully was pretty boring. In fact, if you even look, the views of the Bully videos over the week, they immediately trailed off after like part 2. People didn't really care about it that much. I'm not surprised, personally. I got bored of Bully during the live stream. So hopefully this one will work out a little better being narrative-based, and I don't remember any of the choices or anything. So let's see how it goes tomorrow night. Hopefully you'll join me on DSP Throwback, okay? Monday, one stream, the conclusion of Alone in the Dark. I'm excited to see how it ends. There will not be a late stream Monday night because I have to do private patron videos for the month. However, I'm happy to announce this is the only day that I have to do that this entire month. Okay? After that, we're back to double streaming days every single day, and we don't have any limits there where it's like, oh, I have to take a day off or whatever. Nothing like that. So luckily, we're back to usual. You know, that last month, I had a lot of days I couldn't stream. This month, we're back to normal. Okay? Tuesday. All right? The daytime stream can either be more Elden Ring or Helldivers 2, whichever you want. I don't really mind either. Either one would be fine. Tuesday night will likely be more Street Fighter 6. And I am streaming Wednesday. So whatever we don't stream on Tuesday, all right, will probably be the day stream on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night will likely be the premiere of co-op with myself and Kat doing Beyond Two Souls. Now you may be saying, wait, what's going on? I thought you said Wednesday was your day off. Wednesday's your anniversary. It is, but my wife's work schedule has changed. So because of that, we wouldn't be able to take Wednesday off, even if we wanted to, all right? So because the work schedule is different, the whole thing just got thrown for a loop. So our day off this week now is going to be Thursday. That's when we're going to celebrate our 5th wedding anniversary. It is. What can you do? That's life, right? Just when you have plans and everything, a monkey wrench gets thrown at you and you got to adapt. And that's what we're doing. You know, it sucks. We would have liked to have Wednesday off, but now we can't. So I will be here all through Wednesday, and then Thursday will be the day off for this week. So typically, it's just a normal week for me now, schedule-wise. It hasn't changed, but the games have changed, you know, with the conclusion of Alone in the Dark. We're going to be having Helldivers 2 in the schedule, Elden Ring continuing, Street Fighter 6 is back in the mix. We have all this good variety stuff going on now, okay? Cool. Now, here's the thing. Next week, not this week, but next week, we got to figure out what we want to do for a day stream, because I'm thinking what I'll do is day streams will be Elden Ring and something else. Night streams can alternate between like Helldivers and Street Fighter, and every once in a while, the co-op with Kat, and of course, the React stuff on Sunday nights if we choose to keep doing Retro React every Sunday. So we need something else in the schedule to balance with Elden Ring. And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be an RPG, because I'm not doing 2 RPGs at once, and we got Elden Ring going, so we're not doing another one, all right? So what's it going to be? I don't know. We got to talk about that. Perhaps today during the schedule segment, which we're going to do in a little bit, we'll find a game that sounds like a good one. Or maybe there's something on Game Pass that you'd like to see me play. Or maybe there's something on PS Plus that you'd like to see me play. You know what I mean? Like, we got to figure out, starting next week, what to balance with everything else, okay? So let's figure it out. Exactly. Playcool says, fuck RPGs for the next few months. I mean, not that I'm saying fuck RPGs, but that's just the feeling I'm having is we have way too much going on with RPGs, and I'm tired of them too. And people just don't care for them. They just want variety. So I want to give you variety. I don't want to go back to Final Fantasy right now. I don't want to go back to Dragon's Dogma. I want something different in the rotation. So that's what we got to focus on finding. What should be that other thing we're going to balance with Elden Ring on day streams, right? Or vice versa, if you guys only want Helldivers as day streams, right? Like if that's what you want and we alternate Elden Ring with Helldivers, then what's going to be the night stream that we're going to balance with, say, Street Fighter, right? So we got option. You know, another thing we can do is every once in a while we can go back to the Battlefront collection, even though it doesn't really work. It's fun to just throw it in there, I feel, for variety. Excuse me. So let's see. Okay? All right. And by the way, just shut up about Stellar Blade. I never want to see anyone mention it ever again. You guys are really just annoying me with that shit now because you know I'm not playing it. So stop mentioning it. Okay. And by the way, it's not my choice. It's because people won't behave in the chat. And I'm not going to sit here and act like some kind of a fucking babysitter to people who are going to just act completely immature and disgusting in the chat if I played it. That's why I'm not playing it. Seriously. That's the reason. So you can stop talking about it now. I'm not playing it. Okay. So that's the schedule. Now, I have an exciting update for all of you regarding DSP Throwback, okay? Red Dead Redemption will be my first completed remastered playthrough on the channel as of tomorrow. The final part of Red Dead Redemption is going to be uploaded and made live tomorrow morning. It is 40 parts. So that means Red Dead Redemption was exactly 20 hours. Now, for clarity purposes, the original playthrough was slightly longer. As my editors were editing this playthrough, they cut out just a little bit of raw gameplay. And what I mean by that is there were times when like I was riding around with nothing to do and I needed to get from point A to point B, and I didn't fast travel, but instead I just rode around. And during those times, sometimes they cut out like a few minutes of me just riding the horse doing nothing. Okay. But outside of that, it's a mostly, you know, completely raw, intact playthrough, and it's going to end exactly at 20 hours. And the final part will be live tomorrow morning. Now, once that playthrough is live, the next project, get this, is the restoration and improvement of the original Fallout 3 playthrough. Okay? Original Fallout 3 playthrough I recorded in 2008. It was with a 4x3 standard definition 480p camera that looked like peach fuzz. All right? Because it was a 480p camera, I had to record my TV crooked, at a crooked angle, to fit the widescreen into the frame. The audio was atrocious. The camera had all kinds of focus issues. It was a mess. Okay? This playthrough is now going to be upgraded hugely. The game is now going to be stretched out to a full widescreen, full 1440p HD visuals. Not to say that they're going to look amazing, but they're going to look so much better than the original. All right? Sharpness filter, so now the text will be way more legible, which was a huge problem with this playthrough originally, is that the text was so blurry. Okay? Audio. It's going to be scrubbed and fixed, so it's going to sound a little better than the original playthrough as well. Color correction, because originally my camera was very, very green-ish, like washed out. It's going to color correct to make everything look more red tones and fleshed out, basically similar to direct capture. Okay? And the parts will be 30 minutes long, and the parts will have proper titling and proper thumbnails. All right? And this all starts this coming Tuesday, April 9th. Part 1 will premiere on the DSP Throwback channel. And now that will be the playthrough that is balanced with Final Fantasy 13 for the foreseeable future. Now, FYI, Final Fantasy 13 is about 2/3 through. We're now in the open world portion of the game. And I want to say probably another month of that alternating, and we'll finish that playthrough. Okay, so probably by the end of April, Final Fantasy 13 will likely be wrapped up. But for now, we're starting at Fallout 3. Fallout 3, the original playthrough was 22 hours long. So judging by the Red Dead playthrough, it's probably going to be, you know, around 44 parts, and it probably will take about 2 to 2.5 months to go live on the channel gradually. But man, it's going to be a wild ride. But keep in mind, my original Fallout 3 playthrough, I mostly stuck to the story, and I didn't do many of the side quests. I actually went back after the fact and did a whole separate run, a separate playlist of videos on my channel where I went back and did all the major side quests. So FYI, this is kind of a more streamlined original first run, and that's what you're going to see in this playthrough before I went back later. Okay? So this is exciting. This is perfect coinciding with the release of the Fallout TV series. The Fallout TV show comes out April 11th on Prime Video, and now you're going to be able to see my restored, upgraded Fallout 3 playthrough live on the channel over the course of this month and next month. How cool. What perfect timing, right? So, I'm excited for that. I hope that you guys are too, and I hope that you guys are going to give the videos a look. FYI, we're going to do our best to scrub the videos so that they don't get blocked or muted or whatever. Part 1 has the very, very, what's the word? It's the song that's like synonymous with Fallout 3. It goes, I don't want to set the world on fire. Right? Whatever that song is. I can't remember the name of it. But it already, we just so you know, it gets claimed on YouTube, and there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't want to take that out of the first part because it really is part of the iconic opening of the game. So part 1, I'm going to make nothing on. Okay? Nothing. So already all the effort going into this series, part 1, which will be the most viewed part, I will make absolutely nothing on because of the fucking song. Okay? So, if you like this playthrough, when it begins later this week, I really would appreciate it if you could support the channel in some way. So if you become a member of DSP Throwback, that would help. If you do a super thanks on other videos, because you can't do a super thanks on a claimed video, but you can do it on other videos, that would be nice. Or during these streams that I do once a week, the retro replay stream, or excuse me, the retro react streams, right? Like tonight we're doing, or tomorrow we're doing Walking Dead. If you contribute during those streams, that would also help. Because this is a lot of effort and work going into this, and it would be appreciated if you could support it in some way. Okay? Sucks that I'm absolutely not going to be able to make money on part 1 because of the stupid song, but, you know, the song is so synonymous with the game, I don't want to separate it from the intro. It would suck to do that, right? Okay. All right, so that's coming up this week. And then also, another thing, later this week, I'm absolutely planning on watching the Fallout television series with my wife. And so when we start watching it, I'm going to do likely at least one, if not a series of videos, because I don't know how long the series is. And I don't know how it's split up episode-wise, but I want to review it. So I'm thinking, you know, some extra content for DSP Reacts, which we haven't done any reviews on DSP Reacts since Christmas. I could finally start reviewing the Fallout TV series over there. All right. Which obviously I have a lot to say. I've played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76. You know, I have all this references for Fallout. And to see, you know, how good is this series. You know, it's by the director of Westworld. And Westworld was a very highly regarded series. So I guess we'll see. I hope it's good. I mean, I really do hope they do a good job with it. From what I'm to understand, it's not the story of any Fallout game. They went with their own original story and original characters, but it definitely follows the lore. So it has the Brotherhood, it has ghouls, it has all the stuff from the games. It just is new characters, so this way they could do whatever they want with them and people not complaining. That's not canon with what happened in Fallout 3. Well, this is its own story. It's not going to be connected, you see? So there you go. People think Westworld was garbage. I actually never saw Westworld, but a lot of people seem to hold it in high regard and said it was a good show. So I'm just going off of what people have said. So yeah, so I'm excited for the show. I will review it probably later on in the week, into the weekend, next weekend. And you can expect that on DSP Reacts, you know, when I get around to it next week when the show releases. Okay? Okay. All right. Good. Excellent. I think I've covered all the topics that I wanted to cover. So now we're just going to get into shout-outs. Okay, let's do it. Let's begin. So on the YouTube side of things, on the YouTube side of things, many shout-outs to do. We've got the Drew Corporation celebrating 6 months as a member and says 6 months for me, 42 years for you, twins. Thank you, Drew. Brian 27, 21 months as a member, says happy birthday, Phil. Thank you, Brian. Luthace with the first super chat of the day says happy birthday. When are we getting Project 7 React? I already did one. Yeah, back before I had a React channel, back before I was doing any kind of regular reacting, we did a retrospective stream where I went back and I watched the whole series and reacted to it. And therefore, it already kind of exists. But if you guys wanted me to ever do another react to it in the future, I would be okay with that. But we'd have to figure it out. I mean, it is 4 episodes. Each episode is around 20, 30 minutes. So that's like reacting to around 2 hours, which could take upwards of 4+ hours. So it would have to be like a big stream. We'd have to figure that out. But as of now, I don't have any plans. Okay. Eternal Napalm, 34 months as a member, and says happy birthday. Thank you, Eternal. Waffins with a $10 super chat. Happy birthday, DSP. Thank you very much, Waffins. Dark Maggot's here today. 34 months as a member. Super supporter, by the way. It says happy birthday, Phil. Thank you so much, Dark Maggot. BB Phil with a super chat. I rushed out and I bought some toffees to complement our feast. Cool, toffees. I don't actually know what those are, but, go. Good. I shut that shit down with the quickness. The troll came in and I shut that shit down immediately. So go fuck yourself. Okay. Cool. Let's see here. So, toffees. I don't know what toffees are. Are like chewy candies or something? No, toffee. Isn't toffee the hard one? Like that you put in your mouth. It's like a hard candy? Toffee. I think it's a hard candy. I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you very much, BB Phil, for the super chat. And he says, I changed my drink. It's not Jägermeister. It's now vodka. I'll probably start soon. I haven't started yet. I'm probably going to get a drink and start while we start the schedule update, the gaming schedule update. That's probably when I'll start. And I don't know if I'm going to do the mojito or the Long Island iced tea to start. We'll see. Let's figure it out. Okay. So, Rico, I've already shouted out those gifted memberships from Rico earlier. Thank you, Rico, for those. I appreciate that very, very much. Also, the Shin Black had done one earlier. Thank you, Shin Black, for the gifted membership. Fed Roger. Let's see here. with a super chat. No, Fed Roger re-upped their membership for 4 months and said happy birthday. Thank you, Fed Roger. Rico with a super chat saying happy birthday, Phil. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, Rico, for the super chat, for the well wishes, and for the memberships to the channel. BB Phil did a super chat, said it's impossible to unlock anything today. We're not unlocking anything. I know what you're saying. You're saying, what about wearing a hat or whatever? Maybe later today, I'll just wear something to be silly because I'm having fun on my birthday. But no, I'm definitely not going to be, like, oh, if we hit this, I put on a hat. If we hit this, I put on a vest. We're not doing that today. No. Morgan with a $10 super chat and says, happy birthday, playa. Thank you very much, Morgan. No Tango Dinero with a $2 super chat. Happy birthday, Phil. Thank you so much, No Tango Dinero. X Shooter with a $5 super chat. Happy birthday, Phil. Thank you, X Shooter. The Shin Black with a $1.50 super chat. Thank you, Shin Black. And Andrew the DJ, 33 months as a member, says, happy 42nd. You're now 8 away from half a century. Yeah, I'm over the hill, man. I'm over the hill. And, you know, what I like to believe, honestly, is that the best years are ahead of me. Because in my youth, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think that I really had an amazing youth. You know, I went around playing Street Fighter. And, you know, I was very angsty and stupid in a lot of ways. And I kind of feel like now my life is better. I'm more laid back. I'm more excited to hang out with you guys every day. I have a lovely family that I love spending time with. My life today is much better. So every day that I'm here at this age, I'm having a better time than when I was young. And that's a good thing, I feel, right? In life, you want to go up, not down in your level of enjoyment and happiness. So, yeah, I think the best is yet to come. Clamp Cut Tie, 6 months as a member, says, W Content Phil, happy birthday. Thank you, Clamp Cut Tie. Bobby Padlock, I can't speak, Padlock. Bobby Padlock with a $1.50. Wait, is that euro? No, that's a $1.50 pound super chat. Thank you for that, Bobby. And BB Phil with another super chat saying, I vote for the ties once you get buzzed. We'll see. I don't know if I feel like wearing a tie today with my nice shirt. What would you call this shirt? Is this like a bowling shirt? Is that what this is called? I'm not sure. It's a nice button down. It's not like a tropical Hawaiian shirt, so it's not that. Like, what? I think, is it like a bowler shirt? I think you should like no, because I think bowlers more wear like polo shirts or something, don't they? I don't know. I don't know what this would be called, but I really like it. It's a very comfy shirt. I like the shirt. Okay, so that's all the super chats. By the way, Rush Fan popping their 2-month membership notification. Happy birthday, man! Thank you, Rush Fan. Okay, now let's get to the tip side of things. We start off today with a $7.77 tip, $7.77. Someone just says, happy birthday from Snoutfoot. Okay, Snoutfoot, thank you very much. First tip of the day. My nose itches. Let's get our animations going and working. Let's see if this works. Go. Okay. Then I received an incredibly generous $50 tip. Happy birthday, DSP. Can we get some Ed gameplay today? I'm not doing Ed today. I have to explain to you guys that the way that if you play a fighting game, all right, and you're genuinely trying to learn versus you're just messing around mashing buttons, okay? You need to practice with the character. Like, I would have to take Ed into training mode, test all his special moves, learn his basic combos and abilities. There's actually a training mode. Remember, each character has their own tutorial. I'd have to do that first. Then I would have to try and practice that stuff. Then we'd have to go online and do some casual play. I can't just jump right into it. It's just not possible. It wouldn't work. And I know no one wants me to do that right now. Like, people are like, you return to Street Fighter 6. We just want to see good gameplay right now, right? You don't want to see me dicking around in a training mode. So I'm not using it. Maybe I will eventually, but right now, I'm, you know, I just don't have that time or opportunity. Okay? Fair enough? Okay, cool. All right, so yes, that was a $50 tip. Sorry, by anonymous $50 tip. But as for what you're saying, they're saying, I would like to see Ed gameplay or some Helldivers 2. It's been fun watching you for the last year. Please keep Friday Night Fights and God bless. Well, thank you. Friday Night Fights are back. And people are enjoying them, so I don't think they're going anywhere for now. I think we'll keep that in the rotation for sure. And I think that we likely will try to get Fightcade working perhaps in the next month. We'll see if I have time to do it, because it is work to get that set up. But But yeah, I would be interested in getting Fight Kid, maybe doing some retro fighting games as well. We'll see. Okay, thank you so much. A $50 tip there. Very generous. I also received a $30 tip from BB Phil. Happy birthday, Phil. Looking forward to Korean food. I found a place that delivers at this time. The anxiety has washed away and I can relax. Thanks for announcing it straight away. Are you cool with Tony Barnhill? Could I contact him and have him call in to talk about old times? I have not talked to Tony Barnhill since the early days of Street Fighter 4. Okay? It sucks because he's a really nice guy, and I was friendly with him, and we hung out, not only for Street Fighter, but just hung out to be friends and stuff. But basically, much like everything in life, you know, things change over time. And, you know, our lives, he lived on the other side of Connecticut, essentially. And so we stopped, when I stopped traveling to play Street Fighter because I had a back injury, I lost touch with a lot of my Street Fighter community friends, and he was one of them. You know, I'd love to catch up with him, but that's not anything I want to do publicly. You know what I mean? Like, if that were to happen or whatever, I, you know, do it behind the scenes. You know, I don't want to bring him into the web of bullshit that these fucking people do online and have him get harassed and shit. I have no idea how he's doing. I haven't, like I said, I haven't talked to the guy in probably near on 15 years. It was the early days of Street Fighter 4 was the last time that I was really talking with him. So, anyway, I received a $2 tip. Anonymous tip. Happy birthday, my man. Thank you very much to anonymous $2 tipper. I appreciate that. Then I received a $1 tip from Kirk. Thank you for a decade plus of entertainment. Here's to another decade plus more. Happy birthday, Phil. Thank you, Kirk, for the $1 tip. Yeah. Then I received a $5 tip from Rocky. Happy birthday, DSP. I hope that you have a great day. Thank you very much, Rocky. Surprisingly enough, everyone's just saying happy birthday. I thought people would have topics to talk about and stuff, but everyone's just stopping by to say happy birthday and to support the stream, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys very much. Okay. All right. So far, so good. I think I've covered everything so far. Okay. If I did miss anyone, please let me know if I missed you. I want to be sure that everyone gets credit. All right. But as of now, I think I'm caught up. So now what we can do is maybe do some Q&A, some talking, chatting, and if anything else comes in, I'll shout it out, you know, to our usual time. And then like I said, first thing we'll probably do is the schedule update today. So, all right. Street Fighter 6 Blanca says, did I have a special breakfast? No. It was a bagel with cream cheese and a black coffee like I have every day. Thank you, Derek. He says, happy birthday to you and happy Saturday. Thank you, Derek, for that. Playcool says, I recall you said Street Fighter 6 netcode was good at launch. What changed? Time. And what I mean by that is time to actually play the game more and understand why the netcode looked so good. Like I just explained, Street Fighter 6's netcode is set up to make the game look good. As you're playing it, you don't notice any jumps, any slow motion lag. But what happens is the game drops your inputs in order to make it look that good. So visually, it looks great. When you're playing it, you're like, what the hell's going on? Why is it eating my button inputs all the time? That's the problem. At first, like when you look at those millisecond connections, oh my God, this is an 18 millisecond connection. This is almost flawless. It means that basically everything should be coming out instantly. And then you press the button and nothing happens at all. Like, it just happened. Oh, because the reason that it has that millisecond connection is because it eats half your inputs to look that good. So it's a waste of your fucking time. That's the problem with the netcode of Street Fighter 6. Okay. All right. I'm just going to get rid of this person because I'm tired of them. Many days they've just been trolling and they're out of the door now. Get the hell out of here. Okay. Thank you. Michael Kane saying happy birthday. I appreciate that. Did I ever have any coffee with chicory in it? I don't even know what chicory is. So the answer is no. I wonder what that would taste like. Notingo Daenerys' thoughts on Samurai Showdown series. Samurai Showdown series, in my opinion, it kind of cashed in with the whole gore aspect of fighting games around the same time as Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat comes out. Oh my God, this game has blood and gore and fatalities. We got to jump on that bandwagon. So take an SNK style anime-ish looking fighting game, throw in samurai with swords and just have them slash each other with blood squirting everywhere. And that's Samurai Showdown. Now, I'm not saying Samurai Showdown is bad, but I remember when it first came out, it's one of the most slow-moving fighting games there is. It actually had these cinematic angles, like you'd slash someone and the camera would go, ooh, zoom in, and then, ooh, zoom back out and stuff. And that's what they were going for with the original Samurai Showdowns. As the series made progress, they changed it up to add in all kinds of different stuff. They had different styles. Like each fighter would have 2 different styles you could select where they would play differently. It was one of the first fighting games to ever do that. It had auto combos where you would grab someone and immediately you could press buttons and do like an auto combo that would do like an established amount of damage. It was very interesting, but for me, I enjoyed playing it because I was someone who really liked variety in fighting games. I played them all. Dude, I played Time Killers, right? I played War Gods. You know, I played every fighting game that was in that arcade, right? However, most people in my local arcades weren't into all of them. They would play like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, that kind of stuff. And the Versus series. Once the Versus series came out of games, you know, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, they completely took over. But outside of those, a lot of the other fighting games that they had at the arcade didn't get a lot of play. Like, I liked Samurai Showdown, but almost no one played it. So I couldn't really play it and get any comp in it. So I never really got to play it at a competitive level. It always seemed to me like it was way slower paced than other fighting games. But I don't know. You know, I never really played it at any high level. I think the series is flashy and nice to watch. But at the same time, I don't know if it's good to play competitively. I know they had a new one. I wasn't even really interested in it, right? I didn't even play it. That's all I really know or have to say about it. All right. Shout out to Cyber Skelly for becoming a member. And then RAC just gifted 10 memberships to the community. So congratulations to the following people. Scrupulous, Urban Style Individual, Mr. Clean, Tyrone Kang, Vickerns Vargans, Felix the Maid, Travis Bales, Goldfish, Fukushu, and Internet Tenshi. Okay, cool. Let's continue here. I received a $5 tip from Brian. Happy birthday, Phil. I've gotten older and I noticed that my body doesn't work the same as it used to be when I was in my 20s. At what age did you feel your body not work the same as it used to? Was it your 30s or your 40s? My life is very different than most people's. Why? Because I started having major health issues in my 20s. Remember, I was in my mid to late 20s when I had a severely herniated disc in my lower back. Now, number one, I was really overweight. I was like, at one point, almost 240 pounds, which is way heavier than a human male should be, okay? So that definitely attributed to the way I felt. Today, I'm around 200 pounds, and I feel much, much better, okay? But basically, in my what should have been my youth, I started to feel sickly, okay? And it sucked, you know? So, yeah, like most people would say, yeah, probably when I hit my 30s, this happened. I started to feel older. When I hit my 40s, this happened. No, I already felt like shit when I was in my 20s because of my back injury. Constant shooting pain or numbness and loss of control of my legs. And, you know, it was terrible. So, yeah, definitely I have a different experience. I'm sure other people might have a more common experience who didn't have the debilitating injury that I had at that age. Now, luckily, things are better for me now. My back doesn't really bother me that much anymore because I adjusted my lifestyle and a lot of different things. And, you know, I eat healthier now. And things are just better for me now overall health-wise than back when I was in my 20s, which is crazy. I'm 42, and my health today is better than when I was in my 20s. But that's what happens. Like I said, for me, as my life has continued on, I started doing things better and better, and now my life is better now than it ever has been, honestly. So that's obviously a really good thing. Now, are there things that I notice as I'm getting older or changing? Yes. For example, I've distinctly noticed that when I eat a big meal, like when I eat my dinner, right? Usually, I start feeling tired within an hour. Like, I'm really tired. Like, the food hits my stomach, and I'm like, oh, I just want to nap. And that never used to happen. And that happened maybe within the last 5 years or so, that this is a regular occurrence now. And I don't know if that's just something that happens as you get older with metabolism or something. I don't know. But it's serious. Like, I need to have a coffee after dinner. If I don't, I feel like I need to nap. It's it's just something, I guess, that happens when you're getting older, all right? So, yeah, I guess we'll anything else? Yes, my hand. My right hand, I am definitely getting symptoms of carpal tunnel. For example, right now my hands are perfectly fine. When I do this, I start to feel a little bit of tenseness in the hand. As I go further, my right hand now starts to hurt and feels incredibly tense and painful as I do this. Ow! As I do it like this. And this is a normal thing your hand should be able to do, right? But it's because I'm getting carpal tunnel. And there's nothing I can really do about it. I sit here playing games most of the day, right? So it is what it is. I'm probably going to get it. I mean, that's why I have things like a hand exerciser and other things. And as it gets older, I'll have to maybe seek medical attention for it. But that's probably the only other thing that's going on with my hand. So Andrea says, getting tired after eating, it's not age, but poor insulin resistance. It happens when you don't exercise. Your body has to release too much insulin to handle the carbs. Well, that very well may be true, but number one, it only started happening in the last few years. And I hate to tell you, I'm more physically active now than I used to be. Like, that never happened when I was younger. And I was fatter, and, that literally, I never had that issue. Now I have it as I'm getting older. So, number one, that doesn't make sense. Number two, I exercise more now, again, than I used to. And it's worse. So, everything you literally just said doesn't make sense from my perspective, my subjective perspective, but I don't know. So there you go. Cat and Jasper are good. No sleep real vibes. Thanks for asking. Ben Boxer says, good thing you play Street Fighter with a joystick. If you were a pad player, your hand would probably be destroyed by now. You may be right. You absolutely may be right. Playing fighting games on pad can be very, very annoying. Like, my wife, when she was trying Tekken 8, that first day she loved it, and at the end of the day, her thumb, she had a blistered thumb. Her thumb actually got a blister on the end, and it was throbbing in pain. She was like, ah. Like, yeah, that's what happens on gamepad. Joystick's a lot better for that anyway. Okay. Lord Plaxis, I skipped my prom at my high school as well. Basically, I wasn't into any of the social norms of my high school. The group of people that I was involved with, my friend group, we definitely were like more, we do our own thing and didn't care about any of that shit. So I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to homecoming dance or any of that shit. Basically just the minimum nonsense in that regard. So how did I drop 40 pounds? Well, number one, I stopped eating horribly. I was eating really badly. I was constantly drinking all day coffee with sugar and creamer and all of that. For sure. Soda. Stop drinking soda, because soda has insane amounts of sugar and calories in it you don't need. And basically, excuse me. Some exercise. That's all it is. It's moving more exercise, better diet, cutting out the extra calories all day long. And basically because of that, a lot of things improved. A lot of things in my life improved. I used to have bad knees. My knees aren't as bad anymore. My back injury got significantly better. The herniation in my disc has essentially almost disappeared. So, let's see here. Let's see. I got a $1 tip from Kirk. If your hands are wearing down, would you consider Neuralink? A disabled man from the shoulder game has been playing Civilization all night long. A man? I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for the $1 tip, Kirk. I have no idea what that means. Okay. What the fuck he's talking about? I think what he's asking me is, would I consider a Neuralink so I could use my head to control my hand? That's what you're doing right now. How do you think I'm moving it? I'm using my brain. Do you see me going like this physically with it? I'm using my brain now. That's how it works. So, I don't know what you're saying. Is Is there a way to, like, I don't know, to implement or amplify it or something with this Neuralink? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that shit. If it's something to do with Elon Musk's companies, I want to stay as far away from it as possible. Okay. Spyman 3000, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever what your super chat means. And the fact that you reference Kiwi Farms in it means I'm definitely ignoring it. But I'm just going to say thanks for the super chat. There. Thank you, Spyman, for the super chat. I have no idea what he's talking about. Am I going to change the art in the back soon? It's been that way for some time now. This art was changed on April 1st. It's only been 6 days. What are you talking about? This is a new layout. I've never had this layout before. I've had these art pieces, but I never had it with the game over sign before. I've had it with the ghost before, but that was a year ago. So I have no idea what you're talking about. You guys are really confusing me today. Any update on DS politics? No. When I have an update on something like that, I will let you know. Right now, I'm trying to adjust things and get things back on track on this channel. As you know, I said for 2-3 months, because we played so many RPGs, we had RPG overload and this channel suffered. Views down, engagement down, support down, everything down. I need to get variety back on this channel so that this channel can be built back up. Once this channel is healthy again, then I can consider working on other projects. But I'm juggling this, the Throwback channel, and the React channel. That's enough for me for now. Perhaps later this year, we'll see. No, see, that's absolutely true. Chakak says, some people reference trolls with good intentions, but they never learn that they think about them more than anyone here. We don't care. He's absolutely right. I don't give two shits about trolls. I have no idea what they're talking about, what they're saying, what they're doing. I don't care. I have my own life going on, my own things going on in my content and my streams. This is what I care about. I pay absolutely no attention whatsoever to what they say and do anymore. I don't. Like I said, I was so happy because today I opened up my stream and I said, we're not in any drama right now. Unlike a year ago where we were up to here in drama nonsense, right? There's no drama going on. We're all enjoying games. We're enjoying streams. We're enjoying this fun interactive stuff. This is what it's all about. We don't have to worry about this shit, you know? Thankfully. So, this is a good thing. I received a $2 tip. Okay. Thank you just for a $2 tip. Someone said happy birthday. Anonymous. There's no name on that one. And then Kurt tipped $1. He said he meant to say someone was disabled from the shoulder down. It's mind telepathically moving a mouse cursor on its own like ESP, but real. So what you're saying is, it's not that if he's paralyzed, it's not that he's moving his body with his mind. He's able to use his mind to control other things in his environment. So basically, like, for example, right now, I would be able to use my mind to update the leaderboard. I wouldn't have to use the mouse and keyboard. I could just go like this and say, okay, I wanted to say that Kirk hit the $1, so now it says 105. Try that again. All right, so Kirk hit the $1, so now the tips total will go up to 105. I guess I don't have Neuralink. It's not working. Okay, but I understand what you're saying now. Derek, I see that you're talking about your quiz. We're not doing your quiz right now. So you can stop spamming the chat about your quiz. I said earlier, you probably weren't here. I got your email. I didn't have a chance to read it or look at it yet. So I don't know if we're doing that today. I would like to look at it if I get a chance today, but I just haven't had a chance. You know, you sent it to me yesterday, and I've been very busy, so I didn't get to look at it and figure it out. Okay? Okay. No, I do not have a birthday hat. I don't have any birthday hats or anything like that. If I go into the closet, I could probably find like a birthday horn or something, but I'll be honest, I'm 42 years old. You know, a few years I went all out. I had giant 40 behind me for my 40th birthday of balloons all month. I've had decorations. It's like, today I just want to be relaxed. Like seriously, like I'm at a point in my life I'm like, I just want to have a relaxing day. I don't really care about having fucking explosions and party horns and confetti and shit. Let's just have a nice day together. Okay? Yeah, see, I don't know how this quiz works. People are saying this quiz thing that Derek set up, that trolls can infiltrate it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how it works or how, like, it's interactive. I didn't even understand that it was, like, I guess it's an online interactive poll or something. I don't even know about it. Would I buy a Samsung refrigerator? I don't know. I'd have to see what they're like. I'm sure eventually I'm going to have to get a new one, when mine dies, but I don't know anything much about fridges, so I'd have to look into it. I know Samsung makes all kinds of different electronic products, right? I would post the link in chat. You would click on it, create a name, and start participating. I don't understand if it's a quiz. Isn't it just is it like, aren't you voting multiple choice answers or something? I'm so confused. I don't get it. I received a $40 tip from 1 Minute Man. He says, how do you like this story? My great-grandfather migrated to the U.S. in 1912. Tickets on the Titanic were too expensive. He traveled on another ship. Lucky for me, he wasn't rich. Yeah, I guess so. Like, man, that would have been terrible, right? Yikes. Well, sometimes it's funny. Sometimes things just work out randomly, right? And you just luck out in life. And in that case, I mean, yeah, to not be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're right, because the Titanic was supposed to be a luxury liner, an expensive ship. That's why all the ritzy rich people were on that damn thing, right? There you go. So thank you, 1 Minute Man. A very generous $40 tip. I appreciate that very, very much. Wait a minute. It was a $40 tip, and I put 30. Whoops. My fault. Okay. Okay. Any last minute things you guys would like to talk about? Remember, here's our order of events for today. We finish the podcast. We go into the gaming schedule update. I'm going to get a drink and start drinking while we do that. So we'll go through all the game release schedule, get that set in stone. Probably going to take a bit. It's probably going to take like 45 minutes to an hour to do that because, got to get through the rest of the year. Then we're going to do a poll. What do you guys want to see first? Do you want to see some Helldivers 2? Do you want to see some Street Fighter 6 multiplayer? Do you want to do a nice nostalgic segment where I react to my most viewed videos of all time? So we'll probably have time to do one of those things. And then likely we'll see what time it is. Food is coming between roughly like 4:30-ish Pacific time. And it's going to be some Korean barbecue. We're going to eat that together. A cool segment of Feasting with Phil. And then after that, we'll probably do another poll to determine what you want to see next. Okay? And then at the end of the night, we're going to have the birthday brownies that my wife is making. So that's the order we're going today. I received a $2 tip from William. My understanding, Kat does most of the cooking. Do you know how to cook or have any interest in learning how to cook? I have very basic cooking capabilities. For example, anything stir fry. Yeah, I could do that. It's simple, right? I'm pretty good at making sandwiches, paninis, that kind of stuff. Salads. Why? Because I used to do that for a living. I actually worked at a job for 4.5 years, I think 5 years. That was like a health food store in the mall where you do salads, smoothies, frozen yogurt, panini sandwiches, bread. We used to hand cut croutons, chop vegetables. I'm pretty good at chopping vegetables because I used to do all kind of food prep for a job for a while when I was younger, my teen years. So I could do very basic things, sandwiches, salads, stir fry stuff, and I could make a pot of Italian sauce because it's my family recipe. I've made it many times before. I stopped doing it for a while. I haven't done it now in a few years, but I'm pretty good at doing it. and it's great. Makes a giant batch that you can get like tons of meals out of it, which is excellent. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed doing it too. It's just that it's hard to get all the ingredients today without driving all around to get them all from different places. So, because it's more authentic. I use San Marzano tomatoes and stuff like that, so it has a completely different flavor than a lot of the store-bought sauces. But yeah, but that's about it. Like, I'm not good at baking anything or roasting anything, or anything complex. I have absolutely no good ability to do. I've never whisked. I've never done any of that kind of stuff. I do basic breakfast. Like I could probably do, I could fry eggs. I could scramble eggs. I could do that kind of stuff. But I was never crazy into cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they cook and they're like, oh, I really like this. This is excellent. I'm like, hey, I could cook, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's see here. Burke, another dollar tip, says, really? 1 Minute Man's grandfather missed boarding the Titanic. Seth MacFarlane actually missed boarding a 9/11 airplane. Wow. So wow. Imagine that. Imagine that you were supposed to board the airplane that would have been involved in the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and you missed the plane, and you survived because of it. Holy shit. Whoa. Yikes. Dabhan says, baking is the easiest thing in the world. If you follow the recipe to the letter, you can't go wrong. Is that true? Thank you, Game Dude. Game Dude said, happy birthday, Phil. I appreciate that. The weather is great. The weather is cool, cloudy, a little wet, but it's perfect for streaming. It's exactly the kind of weather I love to be in here streaming for you guys. So, yeah, the blimp says, Seth MacFarlane overslept because he was hung over. Wow. That's wild. Oh, my goodness. Ugh. Ross Prey just did a super chat. Happy birthday, Phil. I haven't been around as much. Not as many games that I'm interested in, but I'm looking forward to this. Thank you, Ross. Well, now, Ross, there's more variety. Now I got Elden Ring, Helldivers 2, Street Fighter 6. Right? In the rotation. Co-op with my wife is coming up soon. And it looks like likely after we beat Alone in the Dark, we'll have something else new added to the rotation. So, completely different from the kind of stuff that I was doing there for months on end with those RPGs. So hopefully something is going to interest you. I hope. I feel like exactly what Ross Prey just said is exactly the feeling of, like, no exaggeration, a third of my audience. Like, a third of my audience just weren't into RPG Mania, RPG Overload, and they haven't been around because of it. But now, because I'm doing variety again, they're going to come back and hang out again, which I'm very happy for. Dapian says, yes, baking is a science. The exact gram and ounce of things combined perfectly. You can't get it wrong unless you overcook it, but that's a user error. Isn't it true, though? Like, for example, let's say you're making a batter. Isn't it true that you could, like, over-stir it, under-stir it? You can end up with it's more lumpy or it's chunky or, you know what I mean? Or it's too whisked or, I feel like there is a nuance to it. Yes, YouTube Premium is worth it. You get tons of benefits for YouTube Premium, for sure. Am I going to watch the Helldivers intro? Don't see why I would care about watching the intro FMV. I just want to play the game. That's why I skipped it. I'm glad to hear that. No Real Vibe says that I'm his favorite YouTuber after 10 years. Keep it up. Did I do large birthday parties as a kid? I remember having a few. Like, I remember once I went to my local arcade. Once I went to Chuck E. Cheese. I think once I was at the local duck pin bowling alley, if I remember correctly. And those are the three I remember. That's probably the three biggest ones that I remember having. Mostly, I remember having birthday parties just at my house. And so maybe a few of my friends would come over, and my family members would come over, and there'd be food and cake and a few presents or whatever. I don't I don't really remember anything too crazy. Like I said, even the arcade birthday party that I had was at my local arcade, and it was like maybe, 10 of my friends invited and came and, got to play games and stuff. So, but I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything notably, like there's never a giant birthday party for me or anything like that that I can remember. Funny enough, the Chuck E. Cheese one, here's the funny part about the Chuck E. Cheese birthday party. Okay? So I went to Chuck E. Cheese, it was my birthday, and I totally remember I spent the entire day, all right, playing the G.I. Joe video game. Because I'd never seen this game before. It wasn't on home consoles. And it was just based on the second wave TV series after the G.I. Joe movies where they rebooted and added all new characters so people would buy more toys. And it was this over-the-shoulder. You were a soldier running, and it was like an over-the-shoulder camera, and you were just shooting with a target. So it was almost like an on-rail shooter. You were shooting enemies that were coming towards you in first person. You're like shooting them all, going back and forth with this targeting thing. And I was hooked on it. I played it for no exaggeration, probably like 30, 40 minutes. My parents were finally like, you sat here the entire party just playing this game. Aren't you going to play anything else? And I was like, no, I like this game. And now I don't remember anything. I don't remember the pizza. I don't remember anything about the party but the video game. I forgot. My mind only remembers the video game. That's it. Oh, let's see here. BB Phil did a super chat saying, do you know Todd Dwyer? He's another guy that could maybe talk about old school days. Todd Dwyer used to be the big organizer of East Coast championships and other tournaments on the East Coast of the United States in the earlier days of its inception. He ran the first few years of ECC from like the mid to late 90s into the early 2000s. After that, Jet Fee took it over. That was what he was known as in the Street Fighter community. He was actually the guy who helped Todd as like a second in command of the tournaments, and then he ended up taking over those tournaments in the 2000s. So, and Todd was a cool guy, although Todd, basically everyone knew him for his temper. Like, he would run the tournament nicely, but if things started to get out of hand, or if time started to get away from him or whatever, he would start getting really pissed. And people would fucking, like, razz him for it. And people would, like, get his goat on purpose, because they're like, oh, maybe I can make Todd get really angry. So they would do something to try to piss him off. That again, back then, Street Fighter was like a good old boys club. Okay? So, you try to get at someone's nerves on purpose, He's a good guy, though. He's a really good guy. And, and he kind of got the East Coast organized tournament scene started at a big scale. While everyone else, I'll do a little local tournament and 20 people will show up. Todd's like, I'm going to do a regional where I'm going to try to get hundreds of people to show up from all over. We're going to have 5-6 cabinets of the big games, so there's enough for everyone to play on, and we're going to have bigger prizes and things. Like, it was ambitious what he did, and he did it grassroots. The guy was not rich. It's not like he financed the thing and spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars like the Cannon brothers did to start EVO. He just did it with a shoestring budget, and he got it working. And it worked for many, many years. ECC was the biggest tournament on the East Coast of the United States. Pretty cool. Do I like brownies? Well, I don't think I would enjoy my wife making them for my birthday if I didn't like brownies. I like anything chocolate, so. What's my favorite birthday snack? I don't have a birthday snack. I just have whatever, whatever's around. If there's a cake made for me, I eat it. I don't have a birthday snack, right? Butters, thank you for 15 months as a member. It says, happy birthday, Phil. Thank you, Butters. Derek says he remembers a DSP tries it where I tried a caffeinated snack called a snack in the face. Good for you. I don't remember that at all. You might be talking about like the super early days of DSP tries it over a decade ago, where if you remember, it wasn't about me trying fast food. It was me ordering like random stuff off of thinkgeek.com or other similar websites online. And then I would just review them. Like, I do remember these caffeinated marshmallows that I ate that I think they were Ghostbusters themed. And they were really weird because they were like super dense marshmallows with caffeine in them, just odd. But, that's the kind of stuff I started the series with, and then after a while, I just became trying different fast food. Why? Because one of the earlier ones I did was the KFC Double Down, and people liked it so much, they were like, just keep doing food, because it was so funny to see you do that, and it just became the series. I never had Fudgy the Whale as a birthday cake. No, I did not. Only the real OGs remember the caffeinated marshmallows, says Big Daddy Dubs. Have I ever had a Victoria sponge cake? Fresh raspberry jam and cream between 2 vanilla sponge cakes. I have not. Daphne says it's an English staple and the best. I've never had anything like that in my life. The traditional cake I always had was called Italian cake. Now, you might not, what the hell does that mean? So, Italian cake is so different from what you would expect. So, just listen to this. It's layers of sponge cake, okay? But it's a more aerated sponge cake. Thank you, Jay. Jay said happy birthday. And what's up, Game Boy? How are you? It's an aerated sponge cake. It's not a dense sponge cake. It's more airy with more air pockets because it's meant to absorb, okay? So you have layers of sponge cake. Between it, get this. You could have fruit. You could have flavored puddings. All right? All kinds of stuff. So when you get the deluxe Italian cake, you'd have a layer of sponge on the bottom and a layer of like chocolate pudding. Then a layer of sponge, then a layer of strawberries and like a strawberry puree jam. And then another layer, and then like a layer of frosting, and then another layer. And it would be a ton of layers of that, okay? Now, people are like, oh, that's a trifle. No, it's a cake. It's round. It's a round cake. And then on top of, so that's what's in the cake, okay? But then you have frosting on the outside, okay? And it's more decadent. It's not like airy frosting. It's almost like a confection. How can I explain it? Like it's a harder consistency. It's almost like a candied thing. And then on top they put whatever. So you cut into this cake thing and this is just a normal cake. No, it would be this insane layers of cake. And when you ate it, you get like a million different flavors. That's like traditional Italian cake. And I used to have that all the time for my birthday. That's what my parents would get because we had a local Italian bakery that was called Luigi's. And they would make authentic cookies, cakes, all kinds of stuff. And that's what I would always have traditionally for my birthday, and it was ridiculously good, like over the top, crazy decadent. It's so good. You can only have like one small piece of this thing because this thing you're eating pudding, fruit, cake, frosting. You're having all of that together. It's like, dude, you can't have more than and you eat it slow over the week if you can even finish it because the cake is so heavy. It's insane. Oh, Leonardo's, I don't know what it's actually called. Like, I'm sure it has a technical name, but this is from an authentic Italian bakery that would do it. But I don't know what it's actually called. And now here I am, I'm 42, and I don't eat any shit like that anymore. Today we're gonna have some brownies at the end of the stream. Yes, today, the point of today is to hang out and relax. Nothing ultra serious today, Derek. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast. Out of those three, I would probably eat French toast the most because it's more savory with the egg flavor, which I like. I like all three, though. But I'd probably eat French. If I had to pick between the three, I'd probably get French toast. Okay, it looks like things are finally dying down. We went a little longer on the podcast today because people had a lot to talk about, but it does look like finally things have calmed down. Jade, what's going on? I said hello to you earlier. I guess you missed it. How's it going, Jade? I know you're going to be busy this weekend, right? You're not going to stick around today. You're all into the WrestleMania stuff, which I am not. But I'll just say this, guys. I understand this is WrestleMania weekend, and now it's a 2-day event and all that shit. I have no involvement in it. I don't care. I don't even know any of the matches or anything. I don't give a shit. I don't watch wrestling anymore. So if you're into that, enjoy. But there's no point in coming here and asking me about it or anything. I'm not involved in it. I haven't watched it in 4 years. Okay? Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. What was the scared game for you between RE7, 8, and the remakes? What does that mean, Play Cool? What was the scared game? Huh? I don't know what you mean. I received a $5 tip from D-Man. He says, I had a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party. I begged and pleaded my parents for a PS3 and Assassin's Creed 2. They're like, no, that's way too expensive. They ended up sending more on the party anyway. 3 months later, my grandma got me an Xbox 360 during Christmas break. Even though it wasn't a PS3, I was still happy because I could end up playing all the games that I wanted. Well, there you go. That's nice to hear. Thank you, D-Man, for the $5 tip. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like, honestly, when it comes to like throwing a big birthday party, throwing a wedding party, and a big anniversary party, a lot of the times, I feel like that's more for appearances or more for the other people than the people who are really involved, right? Like, honestly, my wife and I had a very, very small wedding. It was just us and a few small-time family members and friends at my parents' house. We're just getting married, and then we went and had a dinner together, and that was it. And that was nice, and we will remember that. It was such a nice dinner, and we will remember that forever. Like, just thinking about it makes me so happy, and I tear up thinking about it because it was such a nice little small personal thing. Honestly, I think that was better than the big weddings. I've been to big weddings. I had two friends and coworkers over the years. I went to their big ass weddings, right? I I think that our wedding was better. I much rather have a small knit time. It was about me and Kat spending time together, as opposed to, oh, there's a zillion people showing up and everyone's fucking schmoozing and drinking and eating and dancing. Oh, you gotta dance now and you gotta do all this shit. Like, what? No. Because we got to spend time. That was, I mean, honestly, that was the last time we got to spend together on any kind of a vacation. It was 5 years ago, you know? Since then, it's just a lot of work, a lot of stress, a lot of financial shit. And, you know, we haven't really got to do anything again. So it's nice to know that we got to spend that week together just doing stuff for us. It wasn't for a ton of friends and family getting together and shit. I feel like that's what a lot of people lose when you do. We have to have a giant birthday party and everyone shows up. We have to have a giant anniversary celebration. Everyone shows up. A giant wedding. Who's that for? Like, who are you trying to? Why are you trying to show off? In a lot of cases, if you think about it, these people spend so much money on that. Couldn't have that have just gone to something better? Imagine if all the money that you spent on the wedding, probably like tens of thousands of dollars or more, if you just gave that to the couple. Instead of having a giant wedding, just give some money to the couple so they could start a nice life together, right? No, let's blow it on having this big to-do, and everyone could talk about how fancy we were because we had a big wedding, you know? I just think that's really stupid, in my opinion. Now, you could disagree, and that's fine, but to me, it's like, I think that's a waste. I don't even understand that. Who cares about social norms and showing off for the fucking people? Who gives a shit, right? That's insane. Steak sandwiches, some people take out big loans for a wedding and then they end up in debt. What the why would you take out a loan to hold a wedding? Like, what? Yikes. Okay. I received a $9.99 tip. I think I will count this as a $10 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix, who says, congratulations on being a year closer to your death. Just kidding. Here having Korean food for the birthday feast. Fun fact, they have the worst birth rate in the world. 0 to 1 children. It has a lot to do with men and women being ideologically different, and the cost of living is insane over there. Oh, I don't really know much about that. All I know is that their food's pretty good since I've tried it a couple times, and that's why I wanted to have it again today. But thank you, Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix, for the tip. I appreciate that. Also, it looks like a nice super chat is coming. Hold on. Yes, I believe Chak Ack just did a $20 super chat. Says, how do they not have a happy birthday sticker for YouTube? Well, that's funny. They don't, huh? You would think they would. I was looking for one. I hope you have a very happy drunken birthday. It's been a pleasure being a fan over the past year or so. It's been a pleasure having you. You know, I'm happy that as few and far between as they are, that some people actually come by and give me a chance despite all the insane amounts of negativity and slander against me on the internet. I think, here's an honest question for Chak Ack, all right? You've been around for a year now, correct? Overall, just hanging out with me on the streams and ignoring all the bullshit white noise from outside the streams, have you had a good time? And what is your overall feedback and experience? Because this is something that I would like. It's almost like an interview, right? What is your overall customer experience in the last year? Because all you tend to hear, if you hear about DSP or Dark Side Phil or DSPGaming, is, oh, drama, 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 slander, slander, drama, drama, drama. But did you actually experience any of that on the channel? Or is it just everyone else, right? Outside of the channel, correct? If you're just here hanging out, that's the thing. So many people says, oh man, Phil, how do you put up with the day-to-day drama? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. There's no drama on my channel. It's all these other people who do this shit, you know? So I'm curious, as an outsider who gave me a chance, you know, what your actual feedback or you know, feeling is about that. I said Chak instead of Chak Ack. You know, I've really been trying to do, ever since the interview last year, I have actively 100% tried to stay out of any kind of nonsensical drama. And I hope that you feel that I have. I've made a lot of choices that I feel were the right choices. You know, not doing the Turkey Tom interview, not doing the Mike Klum documentary, just staying away from the bullshit, right? So hopefully it's working. Let's see. So people are actually giving me feedback right now. So Playcool says, I never needed to give you a chance. I watched you from the very early on, and you were always engaging and got more wise with age, as I have as well. Yeah, someone just said, you know, people will never clip people actually having a good time. They only clip the moments of frustration or drama. Dabian says, I've been a fan for over a decade. I'm sorry, I'm poor and I can't support you properly. You give me over. Dude, don't ever. Again, I always say this. I'll say it again. Don't ever apologize because you cannot contribute. That's ridiculous. Just having you here as a part of the community and being a positive person and not getting caught up in the black hole of nonsense on the internet about me is more than enough. That's all you have to worry about. Okay? Michael Kane says, you made a great community over the years. It makes newcomers feel welcome, even if they're ex trolls or find your content from detractor channels. I'm glad that you feel that way too. I don't listen. It's funny because some people come on here and they're like, you know, I watch This Is How You Don't Play, or I watch a detractor channel, and then I come and I watch your stuff and I actually like it, so I'm going to be here now. Is that okay? Is it okay that I've watched, or I do still watch detractor stuff? I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what you watch. Why would I have any control or caring or bearing on what you do outside of this stream? I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want, right? Like, what? I'm not like that at all. You know? Felix DeMate says, I've been watching about 2 years, and it seems like all the drama comes from the trolls, not you. Well, thank you for saying that. Listen, I am not a perfect human in any way, shape, or form. I am very flawed. I get very angry, and I get very opinionated, and I get very full of sometimes rage, sometimes, you know, a rant, right? I play Street Fighter, I start freaking out, right? And we get that. There's those moments. But I'd like to feel like at least the general vibe on this channel is a very positive one, a fun one. I don't seek out drama. You know, take a look at the Rich situation recently, where people come to the channel to tell me that he's doing bad. Aren't you happy? Aren't you reveling in it? No, I don't want to hear that people are having a bad time, even if it's people who've wronged me. I wish everyone the best. I want them to all be happy, because I feel like if they were, they would leave me alone. Everyone would just stop attacking each other and being gross to each other if they all had a good life situation. I have no desire to go out and attack anyone around me because I'm happy, right? I'm happy. I have content I like making, content that's meaningful and not toxic and doesn't hurt anyone, and I get to make a living making that content. How cool is that? I don't have to attack others, do fucking drama, slander, gossip. I can just do fun, positive content with all of you. That it means the world to me, you know? So that's what I want to do on my channel. I don't want this to be a toxic, awful place, you know? I hope that that comes through in the content and that you guys feel that way, all right? Because I certainly feel that way. Ghost of Jade did a super chat. Happy birthday, DSP. Looks like you've gotten your groove and vibes back. I hope you feel that way. I know that I knew that it was just a matter of time and what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what it was. It was playing too much of the same kind of game. And now only within 1 week, we've kind of turned it around and people are having a great time again. And that's excellent. Eternal did a super chat and says, happy birthday, my black hole of nonsense. So you're calling me a black hole of nonsense. Great. Whatever that means. Apollo, thank you for a super chat. He says, happy B-Day. I hope you enjoy your day off. Oh, no, your day, not day off. Excuse me. Yes, thank you, Apollo. I hope so, too. I hope we have a great day together. I know the podcast is going long, but that's the cool thing. There's no pressure. Just finish the podcast. We can keep going as long as you guys want. Thank you, Apollo. Thank you. Derek says, I love your streams. Your content is amazing. Thank you for saying that, Derek. I got a $1.50 tip from Anso Kamaru. Happy birthday, Phil. Even though you're always completely wrong about Final Fantasy 16, you're a good dude. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you, Anso Kamaru. That's the other cool thing, too, is I appreciate people who agree to disagree and still mutually respect each other. There's not enough people like that today. Today, there's too many people that are like my way or the highway, agree with me, or you're my enemy. I hate that. And as I get older, I'm starting to realize that sadly is a lot of people, and kind of a lot of the reason there's so many problems and so much drama on the internet is, oh, if you don't agree with me, you're an asshole. It's like, what? No. Listen, we can disagree on topics. That's okay. As long as you can justify your opinion, I don't mind that some people like Final Fantasy 16. I didn't. I gave you my reasons why I didn't like it. I'm sure you probably have valid reasons why you liked it, and that's okay. We can disagree. And if we can mutually get along, that's a huge thing in life, A lot of people keep saying it's time for DS politics before the election season kicks off. Again, I'm not opposed to doing something in that direction. However, I need to get everything else back on track first, right? And really, I felt like this channel, we need to get views back up, engagement back up, support back up. We got to get DSP Gaming back on track to where it was. It has a huge decline right now for about 3 months. Once we get it back on the rails of where she needs to go, then I can focus on other stuff, okay? Dentronic says, a lot of content creators don't want people of different opinions. That's why I like you. You're willing to listen to actual reasons for things. Dude, I want to hear other people's takes. For sure I do. I don't always agree with them, but I want to understand other people's takes. I find it way more interesting to walk in someone else's shoes for 5 minutes and try to see from their perspective than to just be pig-headed and be like, my way or the highway, my way or the highway. Everyone come agree with me. I received a $3 tip. You are not just playing games with the viewers. You're performing an act of love because you are experienced and communicative. You have a steady and strong rhythm. Therefore, you are a fantastic lover, not just a fantastic gamer. Keep going. Don't stop. That sounds pretty disturbing. I'm not going to lie. I don't know about the wording. I think the message is nice, but the wording could be much better. I think the wording is a little bit disturbing and misleading in that one. Okay? But thank you for the $3 tip regardless. Okay. Continuing on. I just received a $5 tip from Chocoboko. I've been a fan for over 2 years. I started with Fallout New Vegas streams, and from then on, I've always thought you're an entertaining streamer. Despite you're not on Twitch and YouTube doesn't trend your channel, I'm actually happy with how you handle your streams. I'm sticking around as long as you are here. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Chocoboko. Yeah, there's no way to trend on YouTube for streaming. There just isn't. Like, how would you ever trend for a stream? It just doesn't happen. There's no one looking on YouTube for the most viewed stream or whatever. It doesn't exist. So, but I'm happy to do my thing here. and just have the community that I have, I'm not looking to be Mr. Popular or blow up in popularity. I don't think I ever will. Be quite frank, okay? I received a $10 tip from Jack Yak. My time here has been great. I was surprised to see not only you're not the biggest piece of shit on the internet like everyone has told me, you're very entertaining and chill. All your faults that I keep hearing about were overblown at best and non-existent at worst. Wow. And this is someone who came from outside the channel and just actually gave me a chance for a year. I appreciate that. The sad fact, Jack Yak, is that sadly not everyone's like you, and a lot of people just want to roll in the memes, correct? They don't want to spend some time to see if something is actually good, or as people say, they would rather just believe it all and laugh along with it and make fun of it. Or, sadly, the other part of that is to benefit from it, right? How many content creators have found success in just rolling with negativity about me instead of being truthful, right? And that's the problem, once they see the dollar signs, once they see the view counts, once they see the engagement they get from a toxic community, they want that again and again and again, right? And sadly, some people even see longevity in it. I mean, there's people who literally, the only reason they're known on the internet is because they made fun of me. That's it. They tried their own content. They've tried their own deal. They don't get any traction, or they get minimal traction. But then when they bring me up again, boom. So that's what I mean. That's how these people are. And that's how the internet is. And it's sad because why do businesses allow that? Why does YouTube allow a toxic culture on their site? Should they not look and say, big picture wise, this is bad? We're going to get less advertisers. We're going to get less serious business because of that, right? But no, they just allow it. And it's like, Well, there's nothing I can do about that. I gotta put up with it. I'm not gonna sue every person out there out to slander me. I'm just gonna say whatever and do my own thing. So I'm happy that you gave me the chance. I wish more people would be like Chakak and others, because many of you are speaking up now. You know, I really appreciate those of you who are here with me today. What a nice day what a nice start to as well. You guys are being so nice to me today. Thank you. I received a $3 tip. I can't stand it when you stand up sometimes and you're wearing pajamas. If you're wearing pajamas for your birthday, that needs to change. No, these are like, just like, I guess you consider these, they're pants. They're thick too. I don't think they're sweatpants. They're like more formal, like home pants, but they're not pajama pants. Just as you like wearing nice shirts, you should also wear anything but pajamas. You look and feel presentable. Even though you work from home, you should not wear pajamas. Happy birthday, Phil. The only actual pajama pants that I have is the Zelda pants. Yeah, everything else is more, they're considered like lounge pants, or, you know, I'm not going to wear formal slacks when I'm on a stream. You know what I mean? Like, that would be pretty stupid. But these are regular pants. Like I said, only pajamas I have are the Breath of the Wild Zelda pants, and that's just because they're gimmick Zelda pants, you know? That's why I wear them. Okay, thanks for the $3 tip. I received an incredibly generous $47 tip. I hate your streams. Here, have a tip. Just kidding. 'Tis the season for jokes. Happy birthday. I wish you a good one. Thank you so much. Whoever that was, thank you. $47 tip. And so that gets us up to $231. Thank you, thank you. And now some super chats are coming in. Let's see here. So I received an incredibly generous $50 super chat from I'm 41. Happy birthday, Phil. I turned your Mega Naruto singing into a power metal song. YouTube search, $50 for no ending. Well, there you go. If anyone wants to search for the Naruto song, $50 for no ending, power metal, check it out, I guess. Thank you for a very generous super chat. Wow. And that's the biggest one so far today. No Tango Dinero did a super chat. Says, Trolls have no lives. I always loved your content. Thank you. And Butthead did a super chat. He goes, hello, is this thing on? This is cool. Thank you, Butthead, for a super chat. Cool. Maximum Turbo says, admittedly, I first discovered you through this down the rabbit hole video. I watched many of This Is How You Don't Play vids, but now I actually enjoy just chilling in the chat and stream. Well, here's the other thing too, okay? I've been around for so long. I've had many different eras of content. My original content was the edgelord, risque commentary, over the top, really immature stuff. But that was what YouTube wanted at the time. That's what got me popularity, right? Then there was an era when I shifted and started to do co-op with John Rambo. I feel like that's a separate era, although the commentary was similar. The co-op stuff was different, right? And then there was me becoming YouTube popular and then adopting direct capture, live streaming. Then there was the era where I kind of changed and started to become a full-time live streamer in 2017. And I would say probably the last few years, like 2-3 years, this is more of the finally really trying to be professional era, meaning everything looks better, everything sounds better, listening to your feedback, adopting new ideas for React content, throwback content. Like that throwback channel 100% was your idea. You guys said you wanted my old content improved for posterity purposes, put it out there so people can find the lost playthroughs, improve the old content. And now that channel is a thing that's building some momentum with my old school fans, which is really cool, right? So that's what I mean. Like listening to feedback, improving things is better now. And now hanging out with you guys, talking, chilling, having these fun conversations. This is so much better than me just constantly playing video games, doing risque commentary, right? This is more meaningful and has longevity as opposed to play games all day. So I've been around for so long, right, that a lot of people, sadly, don't want to let go of the past. They want to act like the things that I used to do are representative of me today when they're not. right? That old Phil who did all the irreverent bad stuff, that's Phil. But it's not. I mean, look at me today. Look how different this is right now than the stuff that I used to do. But no one cares. Chak Yak cares. He came and checked it out and realized, oh my God, maybe Phil was a shithead back then, but he's changed for the better. Here he is. He's a much better person now, and I like his content. But no one wants to check that out, right? So many people just want to focus on the negativity constantly and not give it a shot. But I'm appreciative of those of you who have. Thank you for that. I received a $6.66 tip. Happy birthday to Phil from Soul Psych. Thank you, Soul Psych, for the tip. I appreciate that. Cool. Maximum Turbo says, I did find you based on your old stuff, but now I'm a member, so it's just life sometimes. Yeah. I mean, that's my life. That's the story of my life. And the thing is, the story gets retreaded and retold and readapted and rechanged for a new audience every few years when someone does one of these documentaries, You just had the Turkey Tom one. You got a new one coming out later this year by June the King. And every time that this happens, everyone else hears about all the drama I've been involved in over the years, and it just happens again, right? It's the same cycle. It's like every couple of years, someone else has to do the history of DSP, and then more drama. But it's like, it's the same drama. It never changes. It's the same story over and over. And again, if people would just come and give me a shot, just check out the content, I think they'd realize that shit is so long in the past, and I actively don't want to be involved in it. It's funny because when you hear about people who are called lolcows, right? Of all those people, right? How many of them are that because literally that's what they want? Like, the reason that there's always drama around them is because they create that drama so people will pay attention to them so they can continue to be relevant, correct? I'm the antithesis of that. I don't want that. I want to be outside of all drama. I just want to hang out and have fun with my audience. I don't care about any of their shit. You know what I'm saying? I want nothing to do with their shit. Yet people keep trying to pull me in and bring me up. And you know what I mean? And I don't have nothing to do with any of you. None of you. I want nothing to do with any of this community of bullshit and toxic drama. But they all try. They know what it is because I'm the one who doesn't do it. I don't play their game. Everyone else has. To some extent. The Wings and the Boogie and even LTG and Keemstar benefits off of that shit, right? So they all want me involved in it because they know that the dollar signs come from it. I don't want to do that. At all. I want to be, wow, there's a new me in a party hat emote. Look at that. Look at that emote for today. Very nice. But that's the thing. I want nothing to do with any of them at all. I don't want to be involved with their trash, And yet, here it is. Try to pull them in constantly. So I'm the antithesis of them. You can argue the reason that there's always drama around them is because they create it for benefit. The only drama here is from them trying to make drama for me so they can benefit. I never wanted to be involved with this shit, So I'm happy, again, that I'm not reliant on that. I don't have to every few months create new drama around the channel so that I can get clickbait views and people caring about me again. I have people who care about me, and that's nice, right? Jade, what do you mean? Can co-what on like old times today? I don't know what that means, Jade. Spyman, thank you for becoming an Ultra member. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is definitely one of the longest podcasts I've ever done, but we're having a great time, right? We're just relaxing and talking. That's good. Oh, wear the cowboy hat is what he said. We'll see. Maybe I'll toss a hat on later. Cool. Now everyone's doing it. Is it me in a party hat is the new emote? I wish I could show it on screen, but I can't. It's funny. Is the birthday hat the highest level of membership? No, everyone should have it. But the thing is, the way that YouTube rolls out emotes is that they don't all show up at the same time. Like, for example, if you're on mobile, you might not have it. If you're on desktop, you might have it, or vice versa. You might have to refresh or reload a bunch of times for it to show up. But as you can see, everyone's using it right now. Thank you, Habib Gaming. 15 months as a member and says, happy birthday, man. Thank you, Habib. If you refresh the screen and you're a member, you probably would have it. People are going crazy with it. Did the ball hit me in Elden Ring? You mean the giant living balls? No, I kicked their asses. I remembered them totally, and I didn't get hit by them at all. I almost did, though. I kind of got lucky. It came towards me, and I had my back to like the edge of the bridge, and it got stuck, and it couldn't hit me. There you go. People are refreshing. Now they have it too. Cool. So use the birthday emo all day today on the marathon. All right. Are there any final topics you guys would like to talk about? Or shall we finally adjourn the podcast, and then I'll get a drink and we'll get set up to do the schedule. The gaming schedule, that is. There you go. You closed the YouTube app, opened it, and now you have the emote. There you go. How silly. Cool. All right. Well, guys, thank you. Great. Definitely a great podcast intro to the day. I hope those watching on demand, you liked the extended, very lengthy podcast. It was fun. But now, as they say, all good things must come to an end, right? Jade says, I love my stay. You help me chill out. And I watched you ever since Super Street Fighter 4. So funny. Thank you, Jade. It's nice having you around. You're a nice person and a positive influence on the streams. And I mean that, too. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. I was about to adjourn the show, and I received an incredibly generous $42 tip from Thomas. Phil, no message for your stream. I just want to say happy birthday. Thank you so much. I got a $42 tip from Thomas. Wow. Thank you all. So it's 42 plus 36. 78. Here we go. Let's do math. Very nice. All right. Excellent. Thank you, guys. And by the way, what's cool is that is a good variety of support today. As I told you guys, what happened, sadly, is during the months that I was doing so many RPGs, notably Baldur's Gate 3, we would get a ton of tips every day and nothing else. So membership, super chats, everything just dwindled to nothing. And so that back-end support disappeared. And today, I mean, this is crazy. We haven't even finished the podcast yet. And we've got crazy amounts of support of every kind. So thank you guys so very much for that. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for a great birthday show. I hope that everyone enjoyed the show. It is now... Never mind. David just did a super chat. $10 super chat. He says, I came from detractor channels. I wanted to see why you're so hated. I realized you're a hardworking YouTuber that makes mistakes like we all have in life. Happy birthday. Thank you, David. I feel the same. I mean, again, I know I make mistakes. And then I feel bad after the fact, but I think that's what every human should do, right? Is acknowledge the mistake you made, try to learn from it, and move on. And sometimes you're just destined to make the same mistakes if you get, you know, for me, it's getting angry at certain kinds of games and doing stuff like that, you know. But I'm trying my best to do better, and I hope that you guys see that. And I certainly hope that you guys enjoy the stuff that I put out today. I got another $42 tip. This one is from Jason. Jason says, happy birthday. Wow, thank you to Jason for a whopping $42 tip. Thank you so much, Jason. I don't think we're going to end the show. I think this podcast may just be the entire stream today at this point. This is nuts. 42 plus 78 is 120, right? So this will be 320. Yeah, 320. Awesome. Thank you so much. I received a $1.50 tip from Beaver Bother. What a miserable birthday. Keep the change. Thank you so much, Beaver Bother, for the tip. I received a $22 tip. Again, we haven't even started yet. From Gabriel. Happy birthday, Phil. Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Gabriel, for a $22 $2 tip today. Very much appreciated. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just received a $30 tip. Did I hear Baldur's Gate? Will there be Baldur's Gate? How about some Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate? No, I don't even know what you're talking about. I never heard of it. What's that? Baldur's Gate? Nah. I don't care about any gates anymore, man. Okay. Thank you very much, whoever that was, because there was no name attached to it. Thanks for the $30 tip. I received... Good Lord. Thank you, Lexamar. Said happy birthday. I appreciate that. I received a $2 super chat. Or actually, it's a €2 super chat from BB Phil. No wonder you had to cancel all of your regular goals. Well, when you do a marathon, I tend to say, let's not bother with this stuff because sadly, it doesn't really fit the format. You know what I'm saying? Like, on any given day, it's nice to have a goal to reach. But on a marathon, we're going to be here all day. I mean, it's only 1:22 p.m. I'll be here till like 7:38. You know, what's the point of having set goals when people are just going to relax and drop in? See, we got people here now for the early part. People will be here later when I'm doing gameplay, and they're just going to drop in, say hello. There's no reason to have, oh, goal here, goal there, or anything like that, you know? Like I said, probably over the course of the day, maybe I'll toss on a hat. Maybe I'll do a thing here or there, you know, just for fun. Okay. I think now it is safe to try to end the show. Probably the longest running podcast I've ever done, not sure. But I want to thank you. Oh, I got received a $3 tip. Hold on. I just received a $3 tip from Slurpee. And I'm not going to read what he says because it's disgusting. But it's still a $3 tip. So thank you for the $3 tip, Slurpee. Absolutely revolting. Okay. Now, I think it is time to end the show. All right. So thank you all for your support. Thanks for the great conversation. Thanks for getting a nice, good start to my birthday. But all good things must come to an end, right? So let's end the show. Thank you all. And then we'll move on. We have many segments to get through today of the marathon. And we got to get there. So thank you guys. And if you are a regular podcast watcher, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, as I'm sure we will recap all of the things that happened during today's marathon stream. Birthday celebration. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.